Is your heart to blame if you can't get it up? Recently, a young patient walked into my office. He was just 28, he worked as a crane operator, and he was having trouble with his, you know what. On top of the stress that any young man would experience when confronted with impotence, he was also worried that his heart might be the reason why he couldn't get his little crane up. And of course, he asked me for a prescription. While generally impotence can be caused by many different things, it's true that men who are 50 years and older mostly suffer from it when the blood supply is restricted to the member. In these cases, this is mostly due to arteriosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of our arteries. Without enough blood, a full erection is impossible, no matter how much fun you're having. And that's why men with potency problems should always have their hearts checked first. But this patient was still quite young and didn't present any of the common risk factors for arteriosclerosis, such as smoking, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol levels. What he did have, though, was an incredible amount of stress to deal with. Across the board, when it comes to younger males, stress is one of the leading causes for sexual difficulties. But how can psychological stress have such a huge impact on our body? The first thing you need to know is that stress and anxiety activate a stress response in our bodies. Amongst other things, this also releases certain stress hormones like adrenaline into our bloodstream. This causes our blood vessels to contract, ultimately making it more difficult for blood to flow into the penis. But since a full erection requires sufficient blood to reach the erectile tissue, these stress hormones are actually getting in the way. The right medication can be helpful at first, but in the long run, you need to escape the vicious cycle of stress. So, to cut it short, did I prescribe that young man blue pills? Yes, I did. Why? Because sometimes this can relieve the performance anxiety that would only make getting hard even harder. But aside from that, it was more important that we looked at what was really causing my patient's stress and how he could deal with it on the long term. Slowly but surely, he did indeed manage to reduce the incredible levels of stress he had been facing. He talked to his boss and was given a different, less stressful position. He joined the local soccer club, and he even tried out several relaxation techniques. And while he did use some of the blue pills at first, he soon realized that with less stress in his daily life, he didn't really need them anymore. So, what can we learn from this case? Sexual problems can have physical and psychological causes. Drugs like Viagra can help overcome initial performance anxiety, but it's always worthwhile to dig deeper in search of the underlying causes of our problems. And that's the best way to keep your crane in good working order. So guys, to wrap it up, here's what you can do. You're not alone, so don't be shy to ask your doctor for help. And if it turns out that stress is the main factor, find ways to wind down a bit, and you'll be amazed at how soon you're back on track and able to enjoy love. So my friends, stay happy, stay healthy, and remember to always follow your Dr. Heart.